Long before the world was connected, every kingdom stood alone, behind its own walls, guarding its own secrets, speaking its own tongue. The merchants kept ledgers no one else could read. The treasury counted coin no other city could verify. Messengers rode for days between kingdoms, carrying fragile scraps of parchment across mountains and rivers. Sometimes the message arrived in time. Sometimes it arrived too late to matter. Sometimes it never arrived at all, lost to weather, to bandits, to distance itself. And when two kingdoms disagreed on what was true, there was no way to know which one was right. Trade slowed to a crawl. Alliances broke over misunderstandings. Wars began over messages that never should have been lost. The kingdoms did not fail for lack of gold or armies or ambition. They failed because knowledge could not travel as fast as the need for it. Then came the great messenger. Not a rider, not a person at all. A language spoken the same way in every kingdom, understood the instant it arrived. Every message carried the same four truths: where it was going, who it came from, what shape it took, and what it meant. And the moment every kingdom agreed to speak this language, something impossible happened. The warehouse could speak to the merchant instantly. The treasury could speak to the throne instantly. A question asked in one kingdom could be answered in another before the sun moved across the sky. Each kingdom remained its own walls, its own rulers, its own secrets kept where they belonged. But together they became something no single kingdom could ever have built alone. Centuries passed, and the kingdoms became nations, and the nations became a single, breathing civilization. Hospitals began exchanging life-saving results in seconds. Banks settled fortunes across oceans before a single ship could cross them. Airlines guided millions of travelers through the sky at once, each one exactly where they needed to be. None of these powers rose because they hoarded the largest treasure of information. They rose because their systems learned to speak. Today we call these messengers APIs. It is easy to mistake them for something merely technical, but they are far older than that and far more important. They are promises kept between strangers. They are the trust one system places in another, sight unseen. Every purchase made online, every diagnosis shared between doctors, every payment settled, every package tracked, every flight rebooked in the middle of a storm, all of it rides on a message sent and understood in less time than it takes to blink. Invisible, relentless, exact. Without this constant silent conversation, the modern world would grind to a stop. Technology was never just about writing software. It has always been about helping the isolated speak to one another. Because when knowledge flows freely, people make wiser choices, organizations move with purpose, and civilization itself grows stronger. Every great kingdom begins the moment its people learn to work as one. Every great civilization endures the moment it learns to listen beyond its own walls. And every API is a bridge built across that ancient silent river,